Yeah.
Yep, I think we can call the meeting. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval agenda.
I move to approve.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Review and approve minutes.
Move to approve.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Review and approve bills.
I move that we approve the bills for November 26th for a total of $326,408.81.
Support.
I'm gonna have to look them over.
I have a question on M&K Truck Centers.
Oh, sorry, excuse me?
M&K Truck Centers.
Uh-huh.
We bought a belt tensioner, 8625 for $318.92. And returned the same belt tensioner, only got $243 out of it.
The initial one also could have other little like bolts or filters with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably just the tensioner, probably the wrong one. Sent the tensioner back, got the right tensioner, but there could have been other things
Sure.
on that same invoice.
So this, bill here for R.W. Mercer, is that for the new, part of the new fuel, pump distribution center?
Okay, they started working on that, they've got these are the pillars for the canopy already installed. They're in the process of doing all that, but that's just a partial.
So there'll be a pump for deaf?
Yes.
Okay.
And a dual pump for diesel for each side of the truck, that's how we look at it.
Who is Bauer Built Incorporated that we're getting our tires from?
That were what?
Getting our tires from?
Bauer tire.
Yeah, well, it says Bauer Built Incorporated,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Just
Who are
one.
they, where are they from? I've never heard
I
of
would
them.
have to look it up. I don't know exactly where.
That's a company we've dealt with for quite a while, I guess, so.
Okay. If you could email me that later, it'd be great. I'm just curious who they are, where they're coming from, and how that, coincides with any local people who are selling tires.
I think Joe gets prices all the time. Check them.
Probably.
It pays to shop around.
Are our salt bins pretty much full right now, just generally into the season?
If we're full.
Been moved and approved to pay the bills. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. You're way ahead.
They were formerly Meekoff Tires.
So do you want
Oh,
me
is
to
that who
email
they
you?
Yeah, no, I Googled it.
Oh,
I
they
should've
just
Googled
changed,
it.
they just changed name?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when, but they were formerly Meekoff Tires, so that,
Probably
okay.
take off time. They got some kind of a national deal on tires. I know Anderson's bought their tires from Meekoff. They did some kind of discount.
Maybe you got those signed already, Mike?
That one I don't, that one I do.
Okay.
Okay, payroll date, November 20th, $135,474.15.
I moved we approve the payroll.
Support.
Any questions? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Moved it.
You turn in your payroll now, you can take it home.
Is that right?
Yes, that's new rule. You take your post payroll, just not your payroll.
Or you
You want it, right?
I just want to be able
The biggest issue with people are, because they go home, who knows how they're being disposed of when you get home, and it's nobody's business how much they put in their HSAs, how much they put in their 457s, how many bank accounts they have, that part of it. Because their wages are public,
That's accounts payable.
Those I just leave them.
I just threw this on the same
I
file.
just leave them in here.
yep, and
There you go, there you go.
Treasurer's report.
New rule.
New rule.
beginning cash and investments is $2,531,936.61. Total receipts is $610,773.34. Total on bills and payroll is $461,882.96. CD reserved for 2 trucks is $694,559.17. Ending available fund balance is $1,986,267.82. Outstanding accounts payable is $2,203.45.
Any questions?
Here we got a healthy chunk of money from townships for contract work.
I billed, I had 3 invoices this last billing and possibly 1 more billing for next month.
All right, thank you. Public comment. Doug, you're the public.
Thank you, happy to be here, have fun.
Manager's comment.
Okay, this one's gonna be a little bit.
Oh, no.
First off, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Let's see, let's go over some of our projects we've got sitting out there. Buckeye Road, west of Bird Lake Culvert, Zamboy Township. First, we gave them kind of a quote or estimate of what we're looking at. We're just waiting on to see what they want to do with the contract, whether they can afford to do it or what. Even no matter what, it'll be next year. Somerset Road, that's the one and only structure we've got closed right now in Wheatland Township. We've given them an estimate of $350 to $475, depending on what has to be put in there, and we haven't heard back from them yet. Day Road, east of Kelso, we're looking to replace that next year. It's in Pittsford, just waiting on their approval to move forward with that.
So is that a tube or a bridge?
That's a culvert.
Okay.
Frontier Road south of Burt is actually one of the contracts that you'll have later today. So hopefully that'll get approved and we can move forward with that. And again, I don't know if we'll be able to get it in this year, but we'll see how it goes. Tamarack Road east of 99, that's a tube that we're gonna try to replace with the drain commissioner's exemption to work under his permit and not have to go through Eagle. But we're still in the process of working with that. Also Bacon Road east of Rumsey, same thing, it's another drain commission tube that we're gonna try to work under him.
I think those are under with township approval.
Yes, those are both, all of these are local township matches. Pager collection, we've done 100% of the federal aid eligible, which we only have to do half each year, but we've done 100% last couple of years. We also did 100% of our local paved roads. So all those, when it comes time for the township meetings, we'll have good, accurate, new Pager ratings for all the roads. So Heather and Jeff, and then the Region 2, I believe it was Brett, came and helped with the federal aid, and so they did a good job getting them all knocked up.
So I have a question before we move on. So this very first thing you talked about was the Buckeye Road culvert west of Bird Lake Road.
Mhm.
Well, I thought the last couple meetings, we were looking at a Buckeye Road culvert just west of Trip Road, and that's a big one, where we were estimating a cost of $192,000 if we went with a regular culvert, or if you went with a box beam culvert, was gonna be well over $300,000. So we got two different culverts on Buckeye Road then apparently.
I think she just labeled it differently. I'm trying to pull it, what she put.
Yeah.
Last board meeting, it was Buckeye Road west of Bird Lake also, that was discussed. That's what I have.
That's what I thought.
Trying to see if it's.
You look on the map here, there's no drains that cross Buckeye Road between M99 and Bird Lake Road. There's two in the next mile east from Trip Road west. And the one that's had a flag on it has been the one that's been closest to Trip Road, and that's a big tube.
Is that still just west of Bird Lake? It might be farther?
No. Both of these are east of Bird Lake Road.
Okay, I'll have to ask Heather, this is her update. Let's see. As far as the guys out there, all the ditching and deberming projects, are mainly complete. All of them are complete, except for hydro seeding on Black Bridge Road. And then Gilmore, there's still a little bit of cleanup, and so we've got some cleanup. Whether weather allows us to put the gravel on this year or not, it's probably a little too late. Our snow plows will be just plowing it off into the ditch. They'll get compacted and they're good. There's still one cross tube that needs to be put in, but it's not a big one. And then we'd also need to hydro seed that one too. So that one will probably finish up next year, next spring, to get everything wrapped up. Black Bridge, I believe instead of hydro seeding, they're gonna go out there and seed and straw mat, or not straw mat, but straw, to keep the erosion control stuff down. If we need to go back in and hydro seed in the spring, we may have to when we get that back out. Other than that, that's all the ditch and deburn projects that we've had on the books for 23 and 24. We didn't take any for 25, so those will all be wrapped up. Paving is complete throughout the county. State road work, we did a ditching job on 127. We've got one more ditching job, that a couple tubes that just like the end pieces of the concrete culvert is separated. they're gonna dig those out, put them back together, seal it, and put it back in. And that'll pretty much be most of the state work for the year. Other than that, so we got crews out every day, cold patching or scraping roads where we can. Some of this moisture isn't helping us right now, they'll just have to keep scraping until everything freezes and locks up. We sent our crews out to our outlying garages on Monday, the 17th. We also will be starting our night shift, mainly per the MDOT LOU, but also what we're looking for the county side. They'll be starting on Sunday at 10:30, and they'll be on nights for the remainder of the winter.
So we're talking November 30th?
Yes, so they come in at 10:30, which is technically their first.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Let's see.
And I'm sorry, how long do we run night shift through?
Normally, depending on weather, out to almost April. 1st of April, we're usually pretty much done. Bacon Road Tube west of Gardner is complete. And then we started, we hauled all the sand out of Cold Pit that was still there. That's not our pit, that was just the pit that we had sand stored at, so we moved what was left back here. Did it come here? Okay.
So you was using it for as a.
It was just kind of storage, yeah.
It was, yeah, like a lease.
And as we've brought things out of there, they've been reclaiming, knocking the walls down, pushing the topsoil back on, so the farmer can then keep farming with it.
Where's the coal pit located?
In Coal Road.
No, I'll have to look at the address, I do not know exactly off the top of my head.
Okay.
But anyway, we got all the rest of our sand, cause then the contract technically terminated earlier this year. And the owner says, no, go ahead and, that's your stuff, get it moved out of there, reclaim the land, and he's good. And so they got all that out there, and they've had the grader and stuff out there starting to reclaim. Once they get that all pushed back in, the farmer will be able to farm it, and we're done with Coal Pit.
Is it coal?
Coal Road is the township line between Reedy and Allen Township,
Well, the farmer's
West-
last name was Cole.
west of that.
Yeah.
That's more what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what, it's the farmer's
Yeah,
name.
it's named after, landowner.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So it may not be on Coal Road then.
No, might not be.
Alright,
Might be off the Maple Road.
Maybe you're wrong.
Yeah, maybe you make it down it, maybe you don't.
I was like, there is maybe though.
There's Maple Road.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
that's other than the stuff that's listed under new business, that's all I've got, unless you got questions.
Okay, just for clarification, and you probably said it, and I apologize if I didn't hear it. How many people are on night shift and what time do they clock in?
They come in at 10:30 in the evening, and they work until 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
They'll be on from like now until about the 1st of April.
Right.
And all said and done, right now, we have 2 people that covers the LAU for MDOT. We'll have 4 total.
So we will have 4 people.
We only got 2 we had more that volunteered for it. 2 or 3 of them pulled their name off the list, didn't want to do it. So we got 2 that will do it, and then we reposted to see if everybody else wants to do it, and if not, then by reverse seniority and who can do the jobs, we'll fill those from,
So we will have 4 people.
yes.
So
Okay.
these are like 4 hours on the state roads and 4 hours on the county, or?
No, those 2 positions under the LOU both get paid full 8 hours now
For MDOT.
for MDOT. And so 2 positions will be paid by MDOT for 8 hours, and 2 positions will be paid by us for 8 hours.
Okay.
But any one of them can do anything.
Either one. What about the mechanic's position? Has that been posted yet?
Yes.
It's
It comes down,
Was it the 8th or the 9th? I have it written down, it's my calendar.
December, I wanna say it's the 9th. It comes down, and we'll take all the resumes and see where we set.
So that's on the
Website.
road commission's website.
Yes.
I think as of right now, we got 1 application.
Cause I
That's
had,
it.
That's it.
I had an individual call me. that
Yeah.
was interested.
By all means, have them put a resume in.
And I couldn't find it on the county website.
It wouldn't be on the county website.
No, the road commission's website.
Well, then I'll double check and make sure, if not, we can get it on there. I don't know, it should be on there.
Okay. Cause I was gonna forward it to him.
So I have a question in terms of, you know, what our crews are gonna do between now and when spring work starts. You know, I know that we had an outside firm come in and cut a bunch of trees back in the summer, but there's still trees and brush out there that need to work on. Are we gonna have some of them assigned to do that type
Yep.
of work?
And that was all part of in the new contract under the aerial platforms. There's 6 different people that are in that classification now that can and will be cutting brush. Well, the brush can get cut with the swing arm mowers until the snow gets too deep. The canopy and stuff can get cut by any one of them. And here in a minute, hopefully you'll approve purchasing a newer high reach truck to get rid of our old, very old,
Scary.
1980 something model high reach, which will allow them to get out there and do some more of that. Yes, we got tons of tree work.
Any old business? If not, we got plenty in this. Approved to extend the payment marking LLC contract.
Alright, so that's the first one we got here. Michigan Pavement Markings is who we've had doing our painting for the last few years. They have offered to honor the same unit price for 2025, 2026 that they did in 2025. Myself and Heather have no problem honoring that if you'd like to.
I would move to, extend the payment marking contract, Michigan paving, Michigan payment marking.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Approved to extend Dalton brush spray contract.
Okay, same thing, they've, I think now done the spray for 3 years. We're doing a quarter of the county a year. They've also offered to extend their their prices from 2025 into 2026. They do both the brush spraying and the guardrail spraying, so the guardrail brush and weed gets done in the springtime. The normal roadside brush is done in the fall. They've done a good job. We've worked well with them, and I would also recommend honoring their extension.
I move to approve.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Approved second amended budget 2025 budget.
So the staff sat down and crunched numbers as best we can. We came out to about a $10,000 deficit, which isn't too bad for that size of a fund. I would entertain any questions.
Can you get us, what you spent on capital purchases for 2025?
Yes, we can get that.
Get that as well as what you project for 2026, if you would, just email it, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. And I guess I would make the comment that $4.7 million in projected ending fund balance is not all cash.
No, that is all inventory included.
Yes,
That's what we
yes.
have at the pits, that's
Yes,
what we have in the
yes,
garage,
yes, yes.
There might be maybe 2 million, they're in that ballpark. that
What I
we
told
pay.
you on the treasury report is
Yeah.
what we have for
Right,
cash.
So 1.9 right now.
Yeah, that would be very nice if we had 4 million.
Well,
No,
I just
I
kinda
would
wanna
love
point
that
that
too.
out, in case anybody who sees this, well, you got almost
Oh,
$5
yeah,
million,
yeah.
why aren't you fixing the road?
Yeah, I heard
In my opinion, we don't want a $4 million cash balance.
Well, no, I agree, but
But I agree with what Kathy's saying, we don't want people to think we've got
Exactly.
$4 million.
Well, I need to remind my son of that every year when he sees the audit.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, yes,
yes.
because he sees that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things in there. Well, I'll move that we approve the second amendment, second amended 2025 budget.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Approved cost sharing policy.
I've got one question before we go
What?
there,
You need
if
to,
I may. The 2026 budget, that I know is the proposed, you gave it to us for review, that doesn't include any of that bridge work, because any of bridge work was gonna be done in 27, correct, from the Michigan
Correct.
Bridge?
Correct.
Okay.
but you need to approve,
Tentatively
tentatively
approve it.
approve this so
Oh.
it can go to the,
Okay.
public hearing.
Right.
Okay,
So I would move that we give tentative approval to the 2026 proposed road commission budget.
support.
Can I jump
What?
in here real quick? Just so you know, we are very
Conservative.
very conservative on this. We didn't plan on any of the new road funding until we see it come in. So this is based off of 2025 funding source. And so very well it should, because right now it's 1.1
Deficit.
deficit. So that should equal out, but worst case scenario, this is where we're sitting very conservatively. And I just wanted to let you know that we didn't figure in any of that new road funding until we actually start seeing it.
That's probably a good idea. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Now we go to cost sharing policy.
Okay, so, as you, I believe you got in your packets.
Yes.
So this is kind of the new outlay of how we're intending to do all the policies. We've had, the staff going through all the policies and resetting the formatting and everything. And so basically, we're gonna go through, and everything will be in like policy groups, kind of. Like administrative type stuff will be under 300, and operations will be under 200. You know, we got 100, 200, and 300 is what we're gonna try to do. So you'll see this policy number on each one of them from now on, and then it'll just be set in this. And I'm just assuming that it would be just easier for you guys to sign each one of them as we bring them, because there's only gonna be, there's probably gonna be a few either each meeting or each month. You're gonna see a few more of these until we get through them all, because there are some that are very old. So this is the normal cost share policy. We didn't adjust any of the percentages, any of who pays for what. The only thing that got changed was, we spelled out a little bit more in a couple of places where it talks about design and construction engineering or project inspection as to how that fits in there. So we're not really changing anything as to how we've done it. I just clarified a little bit of what fits into where, so when we do the contracts, we know what's labeled in those contracts. But other than that, everything percentage-wise is the same exact as what we had last year.
I would move to approve.
Correct.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
You need an autograph from this?
Yeah. Pick
On one
one.
of them, or
Yeah.
all of them?
Just on one.
Just on one?
Pass it around.
No.
Bob
Bob
can
started.
start.
And you're emailing those out to all the townships?
They'll go with all the townships. But since they didn't really change, they'll be, I guess, given at the township meetings.
Yeah,
Is that what
I'm
you
there
plan
too.
on doing it?
So while this is going around for signatures, have you had much of a response from townships?
In your
or-
folder, you have the schedule. Yeah, I got everything scheduled.
Yeah, they're all,
All of them got called in and.
it's hard to believe.
And we don't have to be here?
No,
No, the
Oh,
last
8
one.
o'clock meeting, 7 o'clock's the last one.
Yep.
You don't have to bring your jackets.
Thank the Lord.
Bring our dinner.
I have to have a snack.
Yeah, good snack.
We'll be tired.
I get hungry.
My brain will get very tired by the end of that day. 3 days in a row. Oh.
And then the next day, board meeting.
that's too much stress in 1 week.
Oh, we can handle it.
We got public hearings for that day.
So did you have to do some juggling around to, or was it fairly easy to put together?
I feel like, there wasn't that much juggling around. I know they had, she had to reach out to a couple of townships. They'd only give one choice instead of the 3. But other than that,
We're just discussing it with Karen in general. It didn't sound like she had a big hassle with it. I think 1 or 2 townships didn't quite get what they wanted, but they agreed to take what was left and, you know, last one to the table.
Oh, good.
Makes a difference getting them out early. All right. Approved to purchase High Ranger.
I move that we authorize the manager to purchase a used High Ranger not to exceed the dollar amount of
42,908.
Support.
okay.
Can you
I
explain?
know, but I was gonna say to approve to purchase from M&M Equipment.
Oh, yes.
This and this dollar
I'll
amount.
amend my motion to include M&M equipment.
What are we getting, Bob?
It's a 2017 Freightliner with a 60-foot boom. It's the type boom that will like double back in the back, but it'll also lean all the way forward and then get in and out of the bucket from the ground in front of the.
Wow.
Looks like there's a utility company that had it originally, but looks in pretty good shape. Both the superintendent and the manager went and looked at it and agreed that it was in good condition and 1,000 times better than the one we had. So eventually we will try to sell that one. I don't know if we get much more than scrap price out of it because they did certify the boom this year, but it won't be certified again, they said.
So does this one have a higher reach capability than the old
I think it's roughly, I think it's 5 foot shorter, but it's in that same ballpark, 60 to 70 foot.
That's tall enough for me.
Yeah, you're up there,
Yeah, I'm not, I wouldn't wanna be there.
but
I wouldn't get much accomplished.
the truck
You'd be hanging
has
on.
just a hair over 90,000 miles on it, so
That's
as
not very
those
much.
straight liners go, it's not too bad, it's in very good condition.
You could
So,
easily double the mileage on that.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Through 2026 regular board meeting dates.
Move to approve.
Support.
And Bob, I have a copy right here for you to sign, so you can wait.
Okay.
I just seen them.
Yeah, I found it.
All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Wow. Township contract, Hillsdale, Lake Wilson Road, Bacon, McKinney. Seal coat plug seal, township share was $15,625. And Woodbridge, Camden Burke culvert work, township share was $19,357.50.
Move to approve.
Support.
So I have a question. So with the Hillsdale Township, the Lake Wheelson Road thing, has that already been done?
That was the section that we did that they hadn't approved.
Okay,
And then they voted to come up with this amount of money to help pay for that, even though they didn't originally contract it.
Which that's pretty good, cause they wouldn't have had to pay anything.
No, they didn't.
That
And
was our mistake.
it's a big thank you to Hillsdale Township for
Yep.
stepping up. I mean, it was needed, and they'll get the benefit of it, but
Yeah.
that wasn't something that they originally contracted for, so we do appreciate that.
And was it Kathy that moved it and?
I support it.
Okay, that's what I got, I just wanted to make sure.
All in favor?
Yeah, well, I guess the question on the Woodbridge Road, do we think we're gonna be able to get that accomplished between now and the end of the year, or is that gonna be a spring project?
I believe they're gonna try to get that done this year as long as weather allows us.
Okay,
Cause I believe that's one of the tubes we have here.
well, I know when you talked about this at the last meeting, your comment was if the township board would agree to it, and I haven't had any conversation with them, but I felt fairly confident they would, because they've been wanting to have this done for at least 3 years, so.
Well, I think Kevin's planning if at all possible to get it done.
Yeah.
This is the one that is ordered on here, cause we
Okay.
ordered
Oh,
it,
is it?
cause it takes about, was it 3 to 4
Couple
weeks
weeks,
to
yeah.
get it in? So once we get it in, if the weather allows.
Yeah, understand.
Which, the ground's not frozen, really, that's what's gonna hinder us if it
Right.
freezes, freezes deep enough we can't dig.
But if that, or if it's set in and we got 6 inches of rain and the mud got too deep.
That just lets it set it easier.
We had a motion to approve, right?
Yeah,
Alright, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
So we're gonna.
I've got 2 other items that I can add in, please.
Have I got one of them in my hand?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
So, I kinda scrambled last minute to get this one finished up, but this is just to approve the purchasing policy. The old purchasing policy was from 2008, and so I think it's time to, even though this still goes by state law, the MCL 224.10. That designates what we can and can't purchase without a sealed bid. Those limits still stay the same. However, the only thing I did change was on item 1A, that used to show that those individuals were authorized to spend up to $2,000, and then they had to come to me, and I could sign anything up to 15. I'm asking to bump those to 4,000, because like in Joe's case, sometimes a tire costs more than $2,000, so, I think a 4,000 is more accurate, and they still come to me, and anything, just get to that part anyway, just so I can say yay or nay, but I'm asking to bump that one there from 2 to 4. Other than that, nothing really changes, and it goes by the state law.
If I read number 2 right, any equipment that exceeds $15,000 shall be purchased only after advertising and receiving a sealed proposals with award of same by the board. Didn't we just buy a high lift that wasn't advertised?
Yes, when it comes to used equipment, that opportunity really isn't there. It's either get, like different quotes, which we've looked around at all kinds of different companies to find high reaches. This is the lowest price and best one we could find. They just don't sit around long enough for a sealed bid, and if they send you one, it's probably sold by the time you open the bid.
Right.
So I guess I don't know how to answer that.
Well, we always went by the used equipment. You can have 3 bidders, whatever it might be, but this one over here might have 90,000, mine be perfect, and this one's junk. And this one's the cheapest. Well, you can't do that.
You can't get comparable bids.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, and I understand all of that, but according to this purchasing policy, we didn't do it right. And the biggest thing is that we didn't advertise. Which I hate to advertise because that costs us money, and when you're buying a used piece of equipment, I would think that you're reaching out to those places who have it and is advertising the right thing, so I guess.
And we did reach out, and this, I guess if you remember, with this high reach issue has been going on for probably well over a year. We did reach out to multiple truck companies that handle high reaches. And we had like, I think up to 4 or 5 of them at one time. We just, again, by the time we took action on them, they were gone, you know, or something,
Well,
so.
we had the one that had the wrong engine in it too.
Yes, yep. So I totally understand what you're saying, and I don't know how to,
We've always done it.
I know we
that way
have done
for
it that
years.
way for used, but
Well, I guess here's a case where, in my opinion, common sense has to prevail.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the bottom.
Or we might even wanna add a paragraph to this going forward that says, you know, in the case of used equipment, we will do this and this and this.
and I'm okay with doing that, adding a 3 saying in the case of used equipment, we'll get at least 3 bids from,
So do you wanna modify this before we adopt it?
I can bring it back to next board meeting,
So you wanna table this then? I move to table.
okay.
I'll support your table.
All
right.
in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Alright, the last item I've got wasn't on the agenda, but, I have met with the non-union, employees. Apparently, I wasn't here for the last contract, but apparently over the years, anytime a contract was negotiated, the non-union has actually come to management and asked for, you know, if they can get certain things. It's not really a contract, but it's kind of their wish list. So they brought me a wish list back a few weeks ago. We talked about it. That's a few of the things is like, nope, that ain't gonna happen. A couple of them I was like, well, I could look at those and I could bring them to the board and stuff. Then they came back to me shortly after that and said that they had met again and that the salaried individuals felt that they would be okay with where they're at if we could take everything off the board that they'd asked for and try to make their 6 remaining hourly individuals to where their pay gap didn't close up for the union's new contract the way it is. So basically, in a nutshell, the union got a 5% pay raise for this year, and that was based on basically the highest paid individual in a classification, and so they got a 5% raise. Anybody else that either bumped into that classification or the lower paid in that classification all came up to that same classification level, so they're paid the same. And so some individuals actually made 7 3/4 or 8% over the contract, not just the 5, which, so you had your administrative personnel here and the union personnel here, instead of going up 5 like this, it went up like this because they actually, they still got the 5, but they got more. And so what I'm asking is to put that difference back in there. As my figures come out to, on average, it's about 7.75%, which is 2.75 additional on top of their 5% that they got that I'm asking for. So I've talked with a few of you. I've gone everywhere from $1.25 to I kicked around $1. If you did it exactly at the 7.75%, then there's different costs per individual. It's anywhere from 66 cents an hour to 83 cents an hour. So I guess I'm asking what the board is willing to do, if any. There's a 7 1/4, or 7 3/4, $1, or $1.25. Is kind of the three options.
Well, my opinion is that we hold pretty tight to what we did out in the garage. And so if the fairness of it results in a 2.75 additional increase for those 6 hourly employees, I could support that.
Is that in the form of a motion?
I can make an emotion if you guys are ready for that.
Let's discuss.
So what's that average out to?
Discuss then.
So,
That averages out to 2.75%
Additional.
additional.
and what does it average out to
Money
in
wise.
terms of, cents per hour?
Like I said, for one individual, the lowest paid individual, 66 cents an hour. The highest paid individual, there's 2 of them at 83 cents an hour.
Well, I thought you had also thrown out a number like $1 or $1.25.
Well, to me, I was throwing out $1 because that would just, average it, even it out, I should say. Yes, it adds a little to that 7.25 or 7.75. Originally, I think they originally asked for $1.25, and when I was talking with some of you, I know the chair came back and asked me to see about knocking it to $1. So.
Well, know that they already got a 5% raise.
Yep.
So, this is,
Yeah.
so they've gotten more than $1, I don't know what. So,
What, how many are we talking about?
6.
6.
And the only question I have is it best to do it on a percentage basis, or is it best to do it on flat rate?
percentage.
I did propose the flat rate, but only $1, not $1.25, but
Yeah.
that's up to you guys.
I would support the $1. I guess I need to make that a motion.
You said you did make an emotion.
I will move that we give the 6 individuals $1 raise.
In addition to their 5% they already received.
Correct.
Do we have a second?
I'll support it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
No,
Did you say opposed?
Yeah.
Did you say opposed?
Yep.
That leaves it up to me.
Yep.
I say yes.
So was the motion defeated or? did
No,
it
just pass.
Oh,
3-2.
I don't like you leaving it up to me.
he said yes at the end, I thought he was saying yes, that he didn't agree to it, so. All right,
So that being said, that's all I have.
That's enough. Anything else?
I have a question. I posed this at the last meeting. And maybe you haven't had time to look at this or consider it, but, for 3 months, we had M99 traffic detoured onto a mile of Bird Road and a mile of Bird Lake Road. And both of those roads have taken a pretty good beating. And I think we ought to go after some money from the state to help us repave them.
I will get with Kelby. He's gonna have the final call on it anyway for this region, so.
I mean, I'm not
We'll have to go
expecting,
document now to see what Heather rated it. Yeah, maybe we'll see if the rating changed from last year to this year.
I would be shocked if they agreed to pay for the total cost of repaving those 2 miles, but if they could help us.
Sure.
The mile of Bird Lake Road, I know, or the mile of Burt Road, I know that is primary. I'm not sure about Bird Lake Road. Rob, do you know Bird Lake Road
I think Bird Lake's primary too.
from Camden north? Okay.
Yeah, I think it
Well,
is.
and that helps that it doesn't require a township match for those, so.
Yeah.
And they normally do try to do their detours on the primary roads, not local roads, just for that reason.
Is, Chris would have something to do with that too, wouldn't
Yeah. I'll work through Chris to
he?
go.
We gotta
and go
convince
down.
him first.
We have talked about it, I don't think I don't wanna say swept it under the rug, but they just haven't replied back.
Well, yeah,
That's pretty much, we know what that means.
I'm raising the question because I don't want us to forget about it either. We
No, I appreciate that.
need to go after it. And I know that the people, the one lady in particular who lives there on Bird Lake Road, she's told my wife repeatedly, she says, this road's in a lot worse shape today than it was before.
Especially at the corner of Burt and
That
Bird Lake.
intersection is really bad.
That's pretty bad. Okay. Any public comment? Doug?
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You too.
We all put in a lot of work and a lot of time, take a couple days off if you can.
Anything else?
The only comment I got is at Somerset Township's meeting, they have their proposed solar project going in. It's off of Vickery Road, which is the gravel part.
I can address that.
Okay, you go ahead and address it then.
So yes, I have worked with Pivot Energy on that. They've actually got 2 going in. One's in Somerset off of Somerset, the actual drive will come in off of the gravel part of Somerset Road, but then it'll go Vickery over to 127. And they've also got one down in Reading on Card Road, just like quarter to a third of a mile from M49. So there's like one field right along M49 and Card Road, the next field over is the one that they're gonna put it in. So I actually went out and met with their rep to both those places last week. Both the driveways don't seem to be an issue, and I gave them a road use agreement that I got from Calhoun County, cause they've gone through the wickets with solar in that county, and they've learned the hard way, I guess, on what needs to be in a road use agreement, what's not. So I added ours, put their stuff in, where basically they flat out said, you're gonna give us a cash bond that we will use to repair the roads when you're done. And so basically, I gave them, I believe it was a $275,000 cash bond, which will put a 2-inch cap on the probably almost a half mile of Card Road to get up from their drive over to M49, and then also Vickery Road from Somerset to 127. Technically, that's not ours. So I talked with Angie from Jackson. She said, yes, I know we maintain it, but if you're gonna do permitting for them, go ahead and permit it, and if you, whatever you can get from them, get from them. And so she took it and didn't seem to even really bat an eye at it. She said, yeah, this is kind of the standard agreement that we've done, and I do a lot of work in Indiana and Ohio. She didn't really seem too concerned over it, and so I guess when they bring it back to us and decide what they want to do, I'll know more. But I basically requested like I said, $250,000 cash bond. And it's worded as not like we'll give it back to you if no damage done. We will pave these 2 roads, and it also includes like a mile's worth of 3 inches of gravel for Somerset Road. So so far as companies go and as those solar things go, this one appears to be going fairly well. We'll see. But there are 2 small things. Those they don't have a lay down yard that then they're hauling all their stuff to. Each one has their own lay down yard. So they'll be coming right off the state highways to them, and so they won't be on our roads with like all the heavier. And they don't really have heavy trucks, they just have a lot of trucks.
Right.
You know, so. But that's where that sets. One in Reading and one in Somerset.
We keep going in Hillsdale County, we're not gonna have any farm bills.
Well, that's one of the issues going now too, so.
I know that Somerset Township did have a decommissioning bond that they had included in their proposal, about $2.5 million. So that they ever quit,
So when they stop, they can
Oh,
take care of it.
you have to put it back somewhat to what it originally was. Although the difference between the wind turbines and the solar is there's no concrete on those posts, they're just driven in the ground, so basically they could pull them back out and.
So one quick thing that she brought to my attention that'll be out there, and once they sign the contracts and stuff, she said they use goats to
Yeah,
Wasn't it
keep, I think
goats or sheep.
Oh,
yeah, either, I think it was goats, but, they fence in their things, they plant certain
Shrubs.
plants that goats like. And then they have a grant that will teach somebody how to take care of goats and actually even purchase the goats for them.
oh
And
my
then
God.
And then they take care of the weed control or whatever in there, so I forget how many thousands of dollars they got in that grant to teach somebody how to raise goats and buy the goats for them. And
This
then,
had to come from the federal government.
and then she also has a fund, and she didn't give me an exact dollar, but it sounded like in the tens of thousands, that they have available they get from the federal government per kilowatt hour that field generates, then they can use that to like donate to like the township's, nonprofit something or other, but
And
So
or
they-
school districts probably.
I don't know.
Well, I know the one, the solar field, west of Jonesville, they're donating money to Jonesville Community Schools, so
That very well could
I
be
would
then.
say it's
But-
not coming out of their pocket, eh?
No, she said that, 'cause it's a federal grant, that so much per kilowatt hour they get to be able to donate to.
And again, they're not telling Jonesville Schools it's not coming from them. I mean, that's been anything I've read in the paper is that this project is giving this money, not the federal government, because we're a pass-through.
Okay, yes, that's the way it is. So anyway, those things are out there. If you wanna learn how to raise goats and
Maybe the park needs
Take
to
over
go
goats.
after some of that money.
Yeah. Oh,
We forgot something.
yep, all right.
not done.
They are gonna, Somerset Township did request that they do training for the fire department for any kind of an emergency that happens out there. And the Pivot wanted to do it virtually, and now the fire chief and the supervisor and everybody says, you get people here
Yeah.
to do that, we're not doing no virtual. So, that's all I got.
Yeah, grass fire might have a problem out there.
Yeah.
I've only dealt with the one lady from Pivot, she seemed to be really nice and
Well, I mean,
okay with the contracts and stuff, but we'll see, 'cause they haven't come back yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's two of them.
And the other one.
You wanna put that on
Oh,
there?
good thing for that.
Nope, just those three.
Okay. There we go.
No, you can
Oh,
pass them.
Gary's gotta do it.
Yeah, Gary and Mike.
Well, isn't, Hale's donating donated a bunch of money for football field.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, again, all I heard was anonymous donors, I never had any names associated with
Oh,
anything.
inside the second, there's a second page.
I
too
got
on
it
that
on
one,
pretty
I
good
think.
authority that Rich Hale gave
I heard the same
a
thing.
bunch of money for the football field.
I didn't think that was even in the paper.
No, I'm gonna say, it,
But now it's on
no,
YouTube.
yeah.
It's on YouTube.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
all over
because
YouTube on
you're still
YouTube.
being recorded.
Well,